There we go. How's it going? Good evening. Welcome, Hot Cheetos. Good evening, Aiden. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I was having some technical issues, but I think I got past them. I need to check something here real quick, because I've had some weird issues. That is so weird. I need to work on my need to look at my live streams, because for whatever reason I've been streaming twice every live stream. One has been a listed and one has been an unlisted stream. Very strange. But anyway, nobody sees the unlisted streams except me, so it's all good. Oh, that's too bad. No, clouds. That's always a shame. So, yeah. Let's check. Oh, rain there. That's too bad. It's actually going to rain here. Oh yeah, no problem. Hopefully we'll get it sorted out. NGC 4725. I'll have to check that out. Don't forget to like the video before we get going, because that does help. Pretty sure the QHY. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of acting weird, and that definitely seems plausible. One thing, yeah, so this is the long promised Across the Universe live stream, and I'll probably end up doing another variation of it at some point, but this will be the first take at it. You liked? Great, thank you. Good evening, Turf. Thanks for joining. Mount issue is probably the plate safe solve failure. Maybe. You just never know. And to be honest, I mean, for me, it took a few tries to get things kind of. The thing that went the smoothest, I think, was like my cheapest mount. The GTI mount went smoothly. Although the other mount was okay. I say that, but then I've had issues. Anyhow, so it's going to rain here in the next few days. It's going to be cloudy, but Starfront, it's clear, and it might actually be clear tomorrow, but we'll see. But it's clear tonight, and the roof is open. So let me switch over. You can see now, unfortunately, the moon is up a little bit, but that is okay right now. That is okay. Let me check something real quick here. Yeah, the moon is back. Yeah, boo. Exactly. But that's okay. We'll, the kind of things I had in mind tonight, it's not as big of a deal. Let's see. Let us see. Cool. All right. So what we'll do here, this will be an interesting one. Yeah, it's a crescent. Good evening, Quantum. Thanks for joining. Like I said, don't forget to like. It does help this live stream. So what I'm going to do real quickly here is, what I need to do is get things going. Now, there's much to do and plenty of time, so it's fine. But we still don't want to waste time, and hopefully the Seestar won't glitch like it did last time. So it should be, I'm just going to uncheck move arm and just hopefully this will actually start up correctly. If not, I'll be upset. But that's okay. It does look nice. It does seem clear there. That Starfront. I mean, it's nice and clear. It's just the crescent moon's there. It'll set, I think, at like 11 local time, so in another couple hours. So it's pretty low. But we're going to take advantage of this. So let me see. So I guess starting with the intro. Let me look to see if we are okay on the scope. I'm kind of, I was pretty happy with the results I got from the refractor last couple times I've taken it out. I've been trying a new filter with it, an SV Bony 240, and the results I've been pretty happy with. So I'm looking forward to getting that out again. Of course, it'll be just in time for the moon, but okay. Just watching things starting up. Oh, great. Plate solving failed. So let's see. Dark Shark. I mean, it depends. After midnight, I think the if you can do it after midnight, the moon still is sets before then, or around then. Hello, Cosmic Ray. Good evening. Thanks for joining. Yeah, it looks like the polar alignment is not happy. So let me go. It's doing the dark library here. So let me go look at live. I don't think it'll. Is it still doing the dark library? Or did I just end up stopping it? Give me a moment here. Oh, it did. It allegedly completed it. Although I don't believe it. I might have accidentally stopped it. Let me see. Anyway, that's fine. Now, unfortunately, as you can see, it's not pointing at anything. So we'll have to try to fix that. But let me check the NGC 4725 has a supermassive black hole. That's cool. S50 streaming. Let me check. There we go. So while I am attempting, so Cosmic Ray has the M63 there, and while I am attempting to, we'll leave that up while I am. Well, we'll leave it up, but I'll leave it kind of larger while I attempt to get my Seestar running, so we can get going on our voyage. Yeah, this is kind of frustrating to me. I've had lots of misfires recently on the Seestar at Starfront, specifically with the equatorial alignment. So I'm going ahead and parking the scope. As you can see the RA and DEC are going down. The deck should go to -90, which means it's pointing straight down. Okay. it's almost done. There we go. It's finally parked. All right, let me look at something here. But at least we've got M63 below. Okay. So I will go try this again. If that doesn't work, I will just do a manual kind of startup. The good news is the only downside of doing kind of the manual startup is I can't image below the celestial equator. And I think I checked and only one object was below the celestial equator, so that's okay. We'll just have to skip that one. All right. Can't see everything, can't see Michael. Most relaxing stream. Thanks. Yeah, I try not to be loud. Although I need to work on the volume levels, because I think sometimes I'm too quiet and then the ads, if there's an ad, it ends up being too loud. So I need to maybe make my stream a little louder, but it's a consistent volume. So if you set your volume for it, I generally try not to get any louder than that, because I always try to talk in a more subdued voice, really close to the mic. All right, let me check. Like I say, if this doesn't figure it out, it's okay, because I will just manually tell it where to go, and then we should be okay. Yeah. So I hope I'm not twisting this cord up. I sure hope I'm not twisting this up. What I think I'm going to have to do is, I think I'm going to have to update the equipment I have at Starfront and send them a cord with like one of the magnetic cords. So at least if it gets wrapped up, it'll just kind of detach. And since it's battery powered, it'll be fine. Like I'd run through the night and then I can tell them the next morning to reattach the cord. Because I think the current one, hey guys, random error one here. Okay. You're lucky not to have driving cars driving around. Oh, yeah, random error one here. Yeah, then random soundboard explosions. Yeah, no, not with this. Good evening, Star Traveler. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Yeah, it's Cosmic's Sunflower. Because I'm still trying to get, when will we see Hot Cheetos stream? A stream of Hot Cheetos. Yeah, Hot Cheetos stream. Yeah. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Okay. So, what I find interesting is where like it should be. Let me hide this because I just want to make sure I'm not like that there's nothing like weird with the cord. Okay, there we go. I see stars now. And let's try, see if it'll do the polar alignment there. Would it be a fountain or more like a waterfall? A Cheeto stream, I don't know. Ever see gravel fall from a dump truck? That's probably it. Yeah. Yeah, it was, I need to check that. Sorry. I'll see the Messier 43. It's sometimes called the sunflower. 400 billion stars. Rain for another week. That's too bad. Oh. Did it? Okay. I've got one dropped frame. Not the best start, but it's a start. 2 drop frames. Glad somebody, yeah. Hello, Chef B. Thanks for joining. So it's a spiral with no central bar and moderate to loosely wound arms. The sunflower galaxy below. Okay, why is this failing? It claims too few stars. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. I'm dropping frames. Bought too much gear. Yeah. Yeah. Cheap Astro is right. Don't forget to like the video. Apparently Oh, I see. Sorry, drop frames. I thought we were talking about YouTube, but yeah, I'm dropping frames. Someone spent 700,000. Yeah. Yeah, some people do that. Okay, there are stars there. So, actually, you know what? You forgot to like. Oh man. Let me try going to M81 and just see if we can get it to if we can get it to go somewhere, and then hopefully it will figure itself out, because otherwise this is incredibly frustrating. Gonna have to reboot the scope again if not. Suppose. SB Boney after the 22 days. Yeah. Unfortunately, my I'm not okay, sorry, I'm just watching things. Like sometimes I'm able to convince it to figure out things, but tonight it seems well, this is incredibly yeah, sorry. I'm watching the logs and okay. Yeah. Good night, Cheap Astra. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you dropping by. Have a good rest of your night. Yeah, this is let me stop this. Okay, we've got another problem. So I will park it and park the scope and start over. Luckily, Cosmic Rays is working. Yeah, I don't know why it's... After it reboots, I'm gonna reboot it just to, for good measure. Hello, Rodney Cox. Welcome. Thanks for joining. I'm just, we've got Cosmic Ray, our, is streaming on Discord, and I've got it below while I'm trying to sort out my scope, which is running remotely, so it kind of makes it harder sometimes for me to work through issues. See the black hole. Okay, I'm rebooting my my telescope, because when in doubt, Control Alt Delete kind of thing, I guess. And hopefully it will behave a little bit more. what are we seeing? So, cosmic ray is starting an NGC object, which is really faint, kind of in the bottom. It should be loading. Yeah, NGC 4725, but it's just started loading, so it should get a little bit better here. And then this scope over here on the left is having issues, so I'm having to restart it. Galaxy lies at 40 million light years. It's impressive. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm just gonna manually open it up and try to get it going. All right. It's a brightest member of Coma 1 group. It's a suspected Safer 2 galaxy with a supermassive black hole. So conceivably, I mean, it's not that far away. I mean, the galaxy is probably still there. But that it may or may not be active at this moment. Like, we may see it active, but it might not actually be active. Hello, Mundus. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Okay, so I got it opened. So let me just try imaging at this point. It's going to do the dark library initialization, and then maybe it will be in a better state. Let me look at Stellarium here. Okay. All right, I'm just waiting for it to never fails. Cheeto points out black hole. Or point out black hole. Yeah, it never fails that the telescope ends up having an issue on a clear night that I live stream. Very frustrating. I've been having issues with this particular telescope. I have basically a telescope at Starfront remote observatory, and then I have one here. I live in Houston, but it's like massively light polluted here. So tonight it's cloudy here, but at Starfront it's okay. So should be able to autofocus because it's pointing at stars. You can see the autofocus number moving around here. Apologies, this should have been done like half an hour ago, but it, for whatever reason, okay. Okay. If it stacks one more, then I think we're good. Yep. There we go. Cool. All right. So after all this, now I'm ready to go to the first target. So as I had said in the description, we're going to do we're going to go across the universe virtually. So we're going to start with the solar system. And let me move that. All right, so let me go. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Yes, and I will go into that. I was going to touch on that too. Oh, right. There we go. Better. Oh, but then I need to. Problem is because I was doing this window here like that, I'm gonna put it. I'll put it up here. Did you image the telephone receiver? No, I didn't. I need to check that out. I like that idea. Arcarian 205. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so let's go on to the first target of the night. Hopefully this will go smoothly. So the first target, we're gonna go and hopefully this will work. Will it work? Or not? Did I push this right? Is it actually moving? Oh man. Okay. All right. So let's see. This is like, hopefully this isn't a harbinger of things to come. Okay. It's just, it was slow to load. This is just off to an inauspicious start. It's so frustrating. Oh no. This is not good. This is not good at all. I apologize. It's been, yeah, it's the telescope had to be power cycled, and I can't do that remotely. So I had to have somebody do it. Let's see. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out, try to do something here. Okay. All right. We'll go try this. Sorry, let me bring up this a bit bigger. I'm going to momentarily increase the size of Cosmic Ray's video while I'm trying to figure out if I can fix this. Yeah, no, unfortunately, I'm having technical issues, and it's very frustrating. This is actually the second time this has happened. And again, the problem is I'm running the Seestar remotely, so I can't just power cycle things. So yeah, unfortunately. Let's see. All right. I parked my scope, and now I'm working on rebooting it. And yeah, that's a faint one. That seems too faint. Like, I would think there would be more there. Like, is the image updating? Because I would think there'd be more background stars. Strange. I mean, I see the mouse moving, but I didn't see like, that image seems so dark. Like, I don't know. Oh, there we go. That looks more like it. That's cool. So this is the app, not Alp. So I'll just increase that a bit more. And really what I should do is temporarily get rid of the arrow on the topic below. Yeah. Well, that AP image wasn't updating. It was like frozen. I mean, the Alp image. Like, it was still on like the first frame before it started stacking. That's kind of what it looked like. Alright. Here goes nothing. That looks pretty neat. It's what do you call it? More pronounced than I expected, but that's good. And again, to clarify, the image over there is Cosmic Rays, who's in the chat, and he's streaming this on Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord server, if you haven't joined the Discord server, people are often sharing streaming observations, live astronomy there. Like on days when I'm not doing a YouTube live stream, I'll do it there. So definitely encourage if you're just like astronomy or want to talk about it, or whatever the case. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, it's doing the dark library. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I am Cat's Eye? It's not. Is that the name of the galaxy? Let's see. What just beeped? Oh. That's weird. Too many cat on your galaxy list. Okay, that's the Cat's Eye. Okay, cool. Cool. Let's see. I think I might have to switch to the I don't even know. Nice. Hercules, the Great Hercules Cluster. It's a nice one. That's weird. Oh, discovered by Edmund Halley. That's cool. Did not realize that. Okay. It is tracking, which is good. But let me stop this. Hello, Paulo. Greetings from Argentina. Thanks for joining. Let's see. It says it is at 14 and 40. Which is okay. But it thinks it's at 3. How can it think it's at 3 and 37? 5 and 28. Sorry, 0S. Let's try that. Okay. Oh, hello, Dave. Good evening. Thanks for joining. Thanks for stopping by. I maybe, just maybe, unconfused it. But we shall see. I'm not going to get my hopes up. Oh, it's bad. continuing to try. Let's see. It says it is at what? 1429. And it thinks it's at. Thinks it's at 5. Oh. I wonder. Give me a moment here. You know, the what I realized. Oh. Oh, thanks Paulo. Glad glad you were able to stop by. Appreciate it. And glad it's been helpful to you. No images for Starfront or Houston. I mean, Houston's definitely out because it's cloudy, but I'm still working on Starfront. Still working. Okay. You know, maybe. All right. So I'm still working on it. Oh, that was painful. I'm going to, so I might actually be able to start, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. So the first thing I wanted to start with was the moon. I mean, trying to take advantage of the fact that it's up. But the reason I started with the moon is it's really the closest thing to the to Earth, or the closest celestial body to Earth. It's a 250,000 miles away, 1.5 light seconds, or not quite 1.5, but a bit over a light second away. There's been, you know, a dozen people have set foot on it. You know, it's our nearest. Let's see, is this working? Okay, trying to get it more on screen. There we go. So what you're seeing is, unfortunately, it's not in live view. It's in star view, but that's okay. It's doing 2-second previews, and you can see. Did I go too far? I went way too far. Let's try to bring that on. But basically, the dark side, the unlit side of the moon, is lit because it's a crescent moon, but it's almost a full Earth from the moon's point of view. And the full Earth is, man, this, I'm not going to try to get it closer. Anyway, the full Earth is quite a bit brighter than a full moon. And we'll get back to that in a moment. There is an arc here. There is method to my madness. But so we're starting with the moon. It's the closest thing. So let's see if I can go on to something else without it totally falling apart. And actually, I even had a visual aid here. I was, I had went to the trouble of, not to the trouble, but I went ahead and pulled up this Celestia, and our first stop is the moon. And this is interesting because this is actually the far side of the moon, which is fully lit. So, or mostly the full side. So it's a part of the moon we don't really recognize, but this is just a simulator. So the next thing we're going to go to, I was debating, I think I'm going to go to Mars. So we'll try to go to Mars. Okay. And let's try that. And hopefully it won't fall on its face. So this was the first, each category, solar system, Milky Way, galaxies, and further. I have like 3 or 4 objects. We'll see if we'll get through all of them. Like, we're not going to have to image most of them for too long. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see. Okay. Looks like it actually started imaging. Now again, I'm in star mode, so it's going to be kind of overexposed, but we'll make do. Well, the coordinates are slightly off, but unfortunately. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, unfortunately, it's half off the screen. But you can see Mars there. Mars is... We've sent a bunch of probes there. It's 132 million miles away. So we've gone 500-fold distance jump from the moon, approximately. And the way we see it right now is 12 minutes ago, 12 light minutes away from Earth. So I'm gonna, you can see, we'll go zoom over to Mars here. There's Mars. But so we've kind of gone to the second closest planet to Earth, the closest being Venus typically, and Mars is the next closest. So we've kind of done we've done the next jump. Show the pale blue dot. Martians love their probes, and that's why they try to send probes our way, I guess. No, that's yeah, the pale blue dot. And actually we'll get to the pale blue dot. That's a good idea. But we'll get to that in a moment, or in a bit. So that's, I'm gonna stop that, and I'm gonna move on to the next target. Let me try doing it in Stellarium so it's hopefully a little bit more accurate. There we go. Perfect. Hopefully this will work. Let's hope this works. So I'm gonna stop that. And hopefully this will work. If not, we're gonna have to scratch it. Huh? It's going. That is so bizarre. I didn't do, like, the initialization was like having issues, and so I was afraid it wouldn't be able to go below the horizon. So the next thing is going to be the only thing that's below the horizon. And when I say below the horizon, it's really below the celestial equator. Okay. All right. One thing I've thought about doing is having this as a produced video, just to, especially as rough as this has been. I think that might be Marsh. We make the best probe better than good. Stop. 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 That's funny. Okay. All right, one frame. Okay, here we go. So, let's look at the field of view that I'm, all right. Yeah, so this surprisingly bright star here is actually not a star, it's an asteroid. It is Vesta, which we can go to Vesta here. I only have this working for solar system objects, so we won't be able to use this the whole time, unfortunately. So you can see Vesta is kind of an oblong asteroid. It's a main belt asteroid. And it is, one thing I was kind of surprised is how bright it is. Like, if you look at how bright how bright this is, Like, it's brighter than any star in that field of view. How far away is it? Right now it is about it is about 1.1 astronomical units. So about 100 million miles away right now, just over 100 million miles away. And it was based on the low number, it's one of the first asteroids that was discovered. It's, how big is it? It is 500 kilometers wide. So it's 300 miles wide. It's one of the bigger asteroids in the asteroid belt. And what's interesting is it's actually brighter than the 6th magnitude now. It's like 5 point something. So theoretically, this would have been, I mean, this is visible with the naked eye outside of light polluted areas. So it was out there, but it wasn't really identified until 1807 and categorized. But it is actually bright enough to be visible to the naked eye if you know where to look. It's kind of a faint star though, but it is visible. Where the probes put their Emma space tag. Yeah, I think its motion would be apparent. Let me see. If I look at it in Stellarium, yeah. I mean, it's not like a huge motion, but you can see here, if we zoom, so this is the field of view of the Seestar. And if I just, that's not the current time, but if I go back an hour, you can see it does move relative to the stars. So if you took like a 2 or 3 hour exposure, you would, maybe even less than that, you would see a trail. Very bright trail. But so that's kind of like one of the first asteroids that was discovered. And also it's, like I say, it's about 1 astronomical unit away from us. It's about 2 astronomical units from the sun. So an astronomical unit's how far the Earth is from the sun, 93 million miles about. And so what we're seeing is, yeah, okay, so the knife edge, let's look at this. What cosmic ray has here. Well, that is quite a knife edge galaxy. That is really cool. That is a very thin, anomalously low metallicity and few detectable giant stars, composed almost entirely of dwarf stars. That is very interesting. And we're going to get to dwarfs in a little bit. Let me get rid of that. Man, that is a really thin galaxy. That is really cool. I'll go back to that in a little bit. And so now this is done imaging, so we're going to go on to the next target, and the 4th target in the solar system. So this is a main belt asteroid. These were some of the first asteroids that were discovered in the early 1900s. But now we are up to objects with numbers in the hundreds of thousands. And that's where we're going to go next. So we are going, even though the telescope only took a few seconds to slew to a new point in the sky, we have just I haven't talked about the I mentioned that we did a 500-fold jump from Moon to Mars. Now Vesta is comparable distance to Mars. It's in the same ballpark. They're both a bit over an astronomical unit away. But the next jump is a big jump. And yet not even the biggest jump tonight. And we're dropping frames. Typical. Is this object too low? Oof. Maybe it's too low. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. We may have to revisit this, but I'd hope to do it sequentially. Because basically, what we were doing is going to Haumea, which is much, much further away. It's actually pretty large. It's, I think, over 1,000 kilometers, and it's this weird oblong shape. But it is 50 astronomical units away from the sun. So it's twice the distance of Neptune, and it is further than Pluto. Maybe we'll come back to this at the end. Because the problem is this thing is fairly low, due slightly north of east, and I find that I think I have obstructions that direction. Huh? Maybe not. It says star trails. Maybe I'm premature. Let's try this again. Let me stop this. Because if it can... No? That's so weird. Let's try this again. It says there's star trails. I don't see any star trails. Oh. No, I guess it's... Oh, well. It was doing this before. It was starting to stack, but the key will be if it gets the first one. Yeah, it got an image. Okay, cool. The thinnest galaxy, yeah, the fattest people. That's funny. Oh, Jay Kelly's also streaming. Let me bring in Jay Kelly. Thank you for telling me that. Unfortunately, I don't get the alerts. for some reason it's not loading for me. This keeps happening to me. Might be able to get the stellar streams, maybe not 30th magnitude. Huh. Double loop, interesting. Lost Galaxy of Copeland. Can you reshare? Because it, for some reason, it's not starting for me. Okay. Oh man. Why is it failing so many images? Let me look at this. There we go. So Jeff is imaging at Starfront, the Lost Galaxy of Copeland, which is interesting. Lowers bandwidth and streams. Yeah. Well, we still may want to revisit this one, but let me look. Maybe we won't have to. I think ideally I should have it actually stack, because somewhere it should be right around here. Should be a star. Let me try one third time. Maybe the third time's the charm. Star trails. Why does it claim star trails? I'm gonna try one last time. And if this doesn't work, we're gonna move on. Yeah, that's too bad. We'll come back to Haumea. Yeah. So, what we've gotten through all of the solar system objects. Like I say, we'll revisit Haumea. Now I'm gonna go to the Milky Way, and let's start with I won't be able to use that other program because I don't have the visualizations loaded in it. You know, this happened to me before too, and I think that's why I ended up having to load this. Okay. All right. Okay. It's gonna go to RA of 10, so it should be around there. Yeah, in that star field with Haumea, it If it would have just stacked a few images, we would have been able to see it, but I'll have to revisit it. Okay. So it's kind of a misnomer. It says ant galaxy, but it's because the object I was trying to focus on wasn't it for some reason those coordinates wouldn't go into stellarium, so I had to do it a different way. So if we look, I always end up having to do these pattern matching. So let me check something here. Okay. Okay. So this one's kind of faint, but it's still doable. Okay. Okay, I got. So there's this pattern, and then that, and then that, and then this, and it would be midway between these two, and I think, yeah. The nice thing is, it's a very orange star. Now, if you've watched some of my previous live streams or recent ones, I've looked at this one before. This is Wolf 359, which is it's the third closest star outside of our sun, and some brown dwarfs. So like Alpha Centauri system is closer, but this is about 7.8 light years away. It's actually a red dwarf, which is why it's interesting how it's got this visibly kind of orangish color here. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit here using, oops, didn't mean to do that. Let me switch to that, and then oops. Yeah. So see, it's got a noticeably kind of, at least on the screen, it's a noticeably red-orange color. It's very faint. It's much like 1/10 the size of the sun. And what's interesting, even though this is the third closest star, and even though we went from Haumea, well, we tried to, which is further than Pluto from the sun. It's twice the distance of Neptune from the sun. To go from Haumea to this is about a 10,000-fold jump in distance. So stars are quite a bit further away than anything in the solar system. I thought that was interesting. It's a big jump. But yeah, it's just a little red dwarf. It also, I think because it's a lot of those close by stars have a high proper motion. Actually, so I think this is the third Alpha Centauri system being like lumped together. Then I think it's Barnard's star, then this, I think. So that is found a tick on leg. Yeah, exactly. So we've only gone 7 light years at this point. So I'm going to move on to the next target, which is okay. And there was kind of method to the madness of this kind of series of objects I'm kind of walking through. And a lot of it had to do with kind of when things were discovered. And so the moon, Mars, people have known about since antiquity. Vesta, theoretically, people could have seen more recently, or could have seen in antiquity if they would have looked in the right place. It was visible, but it wasn't really categorized until early 1800s. Haumea wasn't discovered until early 2000s, but they went back through catalogs and they found, because if it would have stacked, I can image it with a Seestar, in a dark sky location. So obviously it showed up, it had to have been photographed at some point. And it was, they found it on photographic plates going back to the 50s. So once they track the orbit backwards, but it wasn't actually identified and categorized and kind of discovered until like 2004. Now Wolf 359 is, when was that discovered? I'm not sure. They were able to measure, they realized it was close by in the early 1900s because they measured the parallax and they noticed that the star was moving quickly. It was the German astronomer Max Wolf was the first to measure the proper motion of it. But I'm not, perhaps it was noticed years before, but I guess it was just a star, so nobody really thought much of it, I guess. Yeah. No, it's like 100,000 light years across. Is that right? Yeah, I think it's like something like that. So we've got Wolf 359. So now, did I hit go? Let's see. Let's try this again. So we've gone to there we go. Okay. I was going to say if this does an image. So the jump from Hamea to Wolf 359 was about 10,000 fold. Now, that might be one of the biggest jumps we do. And oh man. Where is it pointing? Let me just check something. It should be high enough in the sky. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it says it's in the right spot. I'm kicking off an autofocus because it seems like the focus is shifted. Oh, you know what? I just got an alert that the roofs are closing. So we might be done. We might be done. Because even though it was clear and I don't see any clouds, one issue that will cause them to close the roofs is humidity. And so I think that might have been what happened. Let's look at that moon. Oh, I need to reload this page. Okay, that one's open. That one's open. That one's open. For some reason, ours is not open. Let me double check. Did it actually close? Let's see. Yeah, that's a bummer. Not dropping any frames yet. It's weird. Maybe That one's coming along nicely. One dropped frame. 2 drop frame. That's... Yeah. Check that, I'm dropping now. And the problem with my all-sky camera sometimes is the way yeah, it must have closed. Yeah, the problem is sometimes my my all-sky camera is it stacks the images, so it stacks like 5 minutes of images, so the roof close doesn't show up sometimes immediately because it's like stacked it out. Yeah, but it has closed. You can kind of tell there's kind of an artifact. Let me see why it closed and if it's going to reopen real quickly. Meanwhile, we'll look at oh man, cosmic rays. That needle was looking cool. Please remember to home your mounts. Roof's open. It says light clouds after 11 p.m. The other thing that'll sometimes cause them to close the roof is wind gusts. If the wind is over 30 miles per hour, they'll close the roof. But they haven't said why the roof closed. But it is definitely closed. Let me it's weird. On my local copy I see it's closed, but I guess it's cached or something. I don't know why. Oh well. But yeah, it's definitely closed. All eyes on Cosmic. The Starback roof at Poconos never closes. Nice. Nice. Yeah, so unless the roof reopens, I'm gonna have to do this one again, which is okay. We had kind of a mishap, and maybe next stream it won't be such a bumpy start. But yeah, no pressure, Cosmic Ray. We're just all staring at your screen now. Might as well. Oh yeah, see, now you can see down below the roof is closed. That's the insulation on the roof above. But yeah, it was just getting going. We hadn't even gotten through half the targets, mostly because it was such a bumpy start. I think if it was tracking correctly, this would have all gone much more quickly. So it's probably it's okay. Or if I may end up just having to do a insulation nebula. Exactly. I need to work on the all sky camera I have, because it'll it does weird things. It'll, because of the way I have it turned, the setting for stacking, it ends up getting some weird artifacts. Because like if it's, because it'll be night, but if the roof's closed, it's like trying to stack the roof, and yeah, not ideal. Yeah, let me see. All right. They haven't said why they closed. 4244. And that's the other thing I want to see. Yeah, everything closed up. It looked like the other buildings hadn't closed yet, but they're all closed now. So it was either humidity or, yeah, humidity or wind, typically when it's clear. It's usually one of the two. Edge on loose spiral, part of the M94 group, or Canis venatici group. That's cool. Let me delete the little arrow lest people think it's still going. So, it's located near Beta Canum Venaticorum. Interesting. So one thing, since we're watching cosmic rays, observing. Okay, Wiley Site has a pronunciation guide. Canis venatici. Let's see, something like that. High humidity. Okay. Yeah, so what'll happen is if it's too humid and like they're getting at night towards the dew point, they'll close the roof, because otherwise, you know, everybody's telescope would be soaked in dew, and that's not ideal, both from an imaging point of view, but also from the optics, the electronics. Definitely not an ideal thing. But it's sometimes a little confusing because it's like it's beautifully clear outside right now, but why did it close? 14 million light years away. Nuclear star cluster and halo is located near the center of the galaxy. That's cool. One thing I since I'm kind of unable to image at the moment, I had been messing around. If you're on the Discord server, you've probably seen me posting about it. But I've been working on a new version of my website. I haven't put it out there yet, but it's close. I actually have it deployed to like a beta version. But basically, I'll probably tomorrow I'll dump out what I did image tonight onto this. And it's just eventually, like this right here is kind of the observation log, I'm calling it, where it's just the raw photos that I've taken, no processing or anything. I do have other sections for the processed images, but like these are the raw ones. The ones that are vertical were taken with a Seestar a few days ago, and the horizontal ones were taken with my refractor, so you can see. So it's got a little bit of, I kind of got a little carried away with it, as I tend to do. But I have the ability to link the image. It shows the phase of the moon, and this is actually not, it's not a full graphic. It's actually an image from the NASA Clementine, like a composite image of the full moon with like the moon phase overlaid on it. And it was, again, I spent too much time on it. But anyway, yeah, you can look at this, bring it up. You can show what objects are on the you can annotate it, see what's there. And it's, yeah, like I say, I need to push it out there. This is just my local copy. And, like I have some placeholder text for some of these, but I also have like, some description, like there were requests for the globular cluster. And so I was looking at globular clusters and like, so this is Omega Centauri. Oh, did I break that? I broke some of the annotation stuff, but yeah, there's some other cool stuff in here too. But anyway, I'll keep an eye out for that. I might link it in the description to what I might start doing is, since it's got a page per kind of night of observation. And the nice thing about it is it's semi-automatic. Like basically I can go in and mark up things after the fact. But like this one, you can see this one has no little annotation. So let's just look at that. And it just says night session, whatever, this and this, completely automatically generated this whole page. It basically looks at when the photo was taken. And if it was taken between like 7 p.m. and 7 a.m., the next morning, it considers it part of the same night session. So anyway, it was, again, over-engineered, but the idea being that I can immediately or soon after doing a live stream have the photos. It started when I was doing the Messier Marathon stuff, and it just kind of snowballed from there. But yeah, so I'll probably start linking these pages in the description of the videos, just so others can look at them. Yeah, thanks. I spent a bit too much time on it, but anyway, so keep an eye out for that. And I have other plans for it as well. Some bits of it I want to try to get into ALP. Let's see. I see. This was, oh, nice. Is this yours, Jeff? It's a page of, oops. Starfront weather. So you can see sky temp. Oh yeah, see, look at that. So the temperature and the dew point. Oh, okay. But did you create this, or this is theirs? But yeah, you can see right here the dew point was going up, and it crossed the it was basically getting to the ambient temperature, so that's definitely not great. So that's why the roof closed. Yeah, and you can see the humidity just going up. Yeah, yeah, the humidity definitely shot up there. Yeah, that is why it's probably our fault in Houston. It's probably all the warm Gulf air heading up there. So yeah, probably our fault. That looks really cool. This galaxy cosmic rays imaging here. Since mine is out of commission, I might as well expand his so we can see it. And it's kind of, I was starting to get out. I had 3 more targets in the Milky Way, and then I was going to move on to galaxies. And so even though my list didn't get to my list, we're able to at least observe some galaxies here. And that's a nice distance. That's weird. Sometimes I'll... So weird. Hold on a second. But yeah, so we'll definitely be revisiting this. And it's funny because like I kept wanting to do this kind of across the universe live stream, and the weather just wasn't cooperating. It was cloudy, rainy, or whatever. And originally I was going to do it before the moon kind of got in the way. But I started thinking, it would be fine if the moon is up, because I can have that as our first stop. And it makes a lot of sense because it's the closest object in the sky. Closest solar system object, satellite, natural satellite of the Earth. But yeah, it's fine. Most of the targets, I think all the targets are, since we're only looking at them a short period of time, we don't need to kind of get the deep exposures. So even if the moon is like first quarter, it'll still be okay. Tomorrow evening, it's supposedly... See, the problem is tomorrow evening it was supposed to be cloudy. It's supposed to be clear at Starfront during the day, but then getting cloudy into the evening. Yeah. Now, here... Yeah. Here it's looking iffy. So I may end up doing a live stream Friday or Saturday. That won't involve observing. I need to process some photos, and maybe we can do some I can do some other things as well. Yeah, unless things change, in which case Saturday night could be clear at Starfront. I mean, that's still a few days away. At one point, they were showing it being clear. But this time of year is because of the weather and the going through the Great Plains. It's this is more common in the spring at Starfront than it would be in the summer. That is a neat, very thin galaxy. Very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I may have to get another remote telescope somewhere else. Just scatter telescopes everywhere. Oh, nice, doing Leo Quartet. Cool. That's cool. Leo Quartet's an interesting one, because I knew about Leo Triplet, but Leo Quartet wasn't. Sky has shooting around them. That's cool. In other news, the it hasn't shipped yet, but the spectroheliograph that I ordered should be shipping before too long. So hopefully in May I will have it in my possession and I can start using it, which I'm really looking forward to that for doing kind of more enhanced solar observing. Yeah, I think that'll be cool. Or I know it'll be cool. It'll be neat. Yeah. Yeah, speaking of which, there was like some massive sunspot that was coming around. Let me see, what was it? Yeah, this one. That is a large sunspot. Now, is it... Oops. Yeah, so let's see how it's looking. So that's where that sunspot is. That massive sunspot. Doesn't seem particularly active. Those artifacts are clouds going by. Let's find a different one. Yeah, let's try this one. But yeah, that sunspot group looks... I'll be interested to see if anything comes out of this one. I mean, it's such a large sunspot group. So we'll see. But yeah, so hopefully I'll get the shipping information before too long. Because I think that'll be really neat. And I might have to start doing more solar streams. Because I want to do what do you call it? Yeah, I want to do more solar streams. because I'll have a vanilla hydrogen alpha, but then this one can do more and other frequencies, and so I'll have to kind of figure out what I want to do with it. If I want to have the other scope doing hydrogen alpha, or do I mean like I do now, and then the spectroheliograph does hydrogen alpha, or do I do different frequencies like the calcium line, or do I just, because you can't just, you can change the frequencies, but I think you have to refocus after that, so it wouldn't be something that I'd necessarily be changing. Like I might keep it set up the same way for a stream, but we'll see. Part of me would, yeah, I don't know. The quality is pretty neat. It's pretty good, so. When you have time to work on cloudy days. When will you have time to work on cloudy days? Yeah. No, I mean, like one thing I had done with those daytime streams is I was sometimes I do them during lunch, because I only have a 2 or 3 hour window in the middle of the day, where I can see the sun, or where the sun isn't blocked by a building. Now that it's in the spring, I think it's actually a little bit longer, because I think the path is different and it's clearing a building earlier. But yeah, I'll have to figure that out. I hadn't been doing a lot of, almost all the solar videos I'd been doing were kind of faceless ones where maybe I would talk, but mostly it was kind of like this whole setup, but with the sun, the music, but like, you know, and I'd do the chat overlays, but I wouldn't necessarily talk. And maybe I'll do that, I don't know, and just like stick to the chat, or maybe I'll use AI. I'll do an AI generated me, have like an avatar. No, I don't know. Speaking things that I don't need to spend more time on that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'll have to figure that out, because I want to do those kind of live streams. I mean, that's what, I mean, I want it for the sake of observing it, but I think it also would be really cool to share that, because it's gives you some really interesting views of the sun. But we'll see. I've been thinking about any other pieces I might need for the scope. Okay. All right. Random Orkheimer. I like it. I like it. Random Orkheimer. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'll have to figure out. But yeah, right now it's just waiting for it to show up. But once it does, I'll definitely be. Of course, yeah, it'll probably be cloudy for a few days after I get it, just because that always seems to happen with new equipment. But that's okay. That NGC object looks pretty cool. No, I didn't see all of it. I need to look at that, and I need to talk to you. I need to send you some information too. But yeah, I need to take a look at that. maybe I'll do it after the stream tonight. It's still in my playlist, or in a tab. Let's see. I mean, the good thing about these kind of live streams, when it's Starfront only, I don't have to, I don't have like a half an hour of taking things apart and bringing them in at the end of after the live stream. It's like I'm done for the evening, so that's good. Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah, because so I have this. Yeah, well, I'm. Yeah, maybe, probably not. So yeah, I've been using this SV-Bony 220 filter, which is dual narrowband, and the 260, I guess, is multi-band. And I had gotten a 240, which is dual narrowband plus IR bandpass, or so, which only is with cameras that aren't sensitive in IR. It's basically like a dual narrowband. But the 260 is an interesting one that I've been. I need to look at that video that SETI Astro did. Yeah, he did it on a mono camera instead of a one-shot color, which is what I have and what Star Traveler has. That is a neat galaxy. I need to try imaging that one. It's just a thin line. But yeah, sorry this was kind of a I had some glitches in the stream getting things going. I think what I'm gonna do, because the weather's not going to be perfect for the next few days, I might power cycle the Seestar, have the people at Starfront turn it back on, make sure everything's the cord isn't twisted, because that was one thing I had noticed this before the live stream. It looked like the cord was a little twisted, so I need to, or wrapped. Last call. What is last target? What would be a good last target? We could do I don't know, what do people suggest? What do people want? We could do I mean, there's some nice galaxies. Oh, hello Harsh, welcome. Thanks for joining. Unfortunately, we're kind of wrapping up things. I think we're going to do one more target. I got clouded out, but Cosmic Ray is still going. what did I see that was looking interesting? Oh, let me look at my list I had. 362, let's see. That might be too low to the south. Did you do 3169, 3166? Or 5566? Do you recall how faint the headphone nebula was? It was reasonably faint. It claims to be the 17th magnitude, but I don't know that it is. Let me just real quick go over to my handy dandy website. Let's look. Am I in the right place? Okay. It's weird. Maybe it was a pop-up? Oh. Okay. I need to fix this. Okay. I had taken a photo of the headphone right here. And that was 50 minutes at Bordeaux 1 with the light pollution filter on. So, that kind of, if that gives you an idea. And there was a lot of noise on this image, so you'll probably end up with a cleaner one. Oh, nice. Yeah, the Red Cat 51. That's cool. And astrophotographer in India. Well, welcome. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I mean, you've got a more powerful scope. So you should be able to, like, if you do, I mean, you should be able to see stuff pretty quickly with it. At least I was with the Seestar. Yeah, that Red Cat 51. That's a good one. Was which target? I guess a tree's a tree 30. Which target was that? But yeah, I think the headphone's worth it. I want to image it for longer. And then there's a couple other planetary nebulas. Another one that I had run, 3169's behind a tree. What about 5566? Or have you imaged that one before? So Star Traveler, another one. Oh, nice. Thanks. Yeah, that's cool. Well, welcome to the stream. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I do these live streams periodically. Try to do them at least once or, I mean, it's all weather dependent, but like I try to do it at least once or twice a week. Let me see. yeah, Star Traveler, there was a one SH2313 that looked interesting. Let me drag this on screen. I haven't imaged that, but I literally just ran across this one today. Star Traveler SH2313. It claims it's the 9th magnitude. I don't know if I believe that, but like that was a very Ring Nebula. Let's see. Let me see if that's the problem is I think it might be too low right now. Let me check. Sorry. Come on. Yeah, it's below the horizon here. At least right now it is. It'll be rising in like an hour or two, because it's like near the Milky Way, so it's yeah, no problem. You know, suggestions are I appreciate the suggestions. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I have imaged it, but it was only on nights where I've stayed up really late. Like later in a month or two, it'll be earlier in the evening. But right now, it's unfortunately like after like 1 in the morning before it gets too high. 17 degrees. Is that too low? It is an interesting one. I definitely want to try that one out. I'll aim at it and see what we get. I mean, because it looked really interesting. I definitely want to try to image this one. Oh, no, which one is it? I turned off the images accidentally. I always forget what key sequence that is to turn those back on. Oh, here we go. Just do that. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty decent size. I was just like looking around and ran across that one, and I was like, it's kind of cool. Just above the trees. Yeah, well. Yeah, I do astrophotography a lot, yeah. Yep. And that's what that's generally what I'm doing right now. I got clouded out, so I've been brought on. Wait, what did I just do? Didn't mean to do that. There we go. Yeah, so I usually I was observing earlier, but then the moon, or it got cloudy or humid, and so the roof closed automatically. Oh, there we go. Cosmic ray got it. So there you go. It's too low for me, but it's not too low for cosmic ray. So you got the Ring Nebula. So there you go. Right. I say I'd be a terrible weather forecaster. Max of 45 minutes cool. Yeah, the Red Cat is the Whiffet. It is a good telescope. I don't know if that was a question or a statement, but it is definitely a good telescope. I don't have one, but I've seen the results from them. They're pretty good. And if that's what you have, that's a good one. It's a very good one. Nice wide field of view. Yeah, no problem. And thanks Cosmic Ray for the save. Messier. Oh, it's NGC 6720. It's in the northern constellation of Lyra. Cool. It's very, very colorful, but very small. I mean, it's huge, but it's farther away. It's far away, so it seems small. Nice. So it's a white dwarf chucking its outer layers. Or the star chucking off its outer layers before it becomes a white dwarf. Yeah, the colors are always really cool. The greens and reds, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, from home I haven't been able to image as many planetary nebula because my skies are so terrible, but I'm hoping at Starfront to do more. Oh, it's near Vega. See, that's the problem. I did a lot of visual astronomy, and then I've done astrophotography, and in my head there's this disconnect between kind of the visual stuff and knowing kind of the positions of different constellations relative to each other. But then where some of the deep sky objects are, I don't know sometimes where they are because I rely on like the go-to software to find them, because I was doing visual astronomy with suburban light pollution. I didn't necessarily look for a lot of those deep sky targets. I was looking at like star clusters, the brighter nebulas, but not necessarily like M57. So I don't know where. Whereas I'm sure I looked through binoculars and in that area. So yeah, it's always kind of interesting when I'm just like, wait, it's there? That's interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I did years of the visual stuff, and I looked at comets visually, and most of it was wider field stuff. Because I had astronomical binoculars and a fairly small aperture telescope, so that kind of limited how much of the deep sky stuff I could do from light polluted stuff visually. Yeah, I mean, generally the black holes, like this will come up. The problem is most all of the black holes you can't see them. I mean, even like kind of the proverbial black hole in like Interstellar, like you can't even see that because there's too much stuff around it. Like the black hole in the center of our galaxy, there's too much stuff around it, dust and gas and stuff, and so they're kind of obscured. And I mean, you can see the emissions of black holes. You can see like quasars are probably basically a black hole that's got in an active galactic core that's just emitting a massive amount of light, like from a very far long distance away. And so from that point of view, you can see what a black hole is doing. But as far as like being able to see even like the accretion disk, and I've been wondering about that recently, if somewhere at some point we'll see a galaxy or some black hole where there's enough. But even then, the accretion disks are probably really small. So it would probably only be a really big black hole that you'd be able to possibly even see it. Yeah. Yeah. Sure, no problem. Centered carbon and oxygen with an envelope of lighter elements. That's cool. Oh, wow. 125,000 degrees Kelvin. Jeez. 200 times more luminous than the sun. Okay, Star Adventure or GTI. You know, I have that mount. I have the Star Adventure GTI, and I have that. I don't have the ZWO, but I have the Player One camera. That's basically the same as that ZWO. I have a different refractor. I don't have a red cat, but yeah, it's a good setup. I mean, it's a nice portable setup. I'm realizing how portable it is after I got my. I mean, it's not a particularly huge reflector. It's it's tiny by reflector standards, but I've appreciated how light and portable that setup is. And the 585 cameras are great. I love mine. Yeah. Yeah, and I had thought about getting a red cat at one point, but or like a Williams Optics, but looks like you've got some high clouds there, Cosmic Ray. But yeah, I ended up getting like an Apertura kind of, yeah. Oh, nice. Oh, wow. That's a nice step up. GSO 10-inch with an EQ 6R. That's a nice step up. Yeah, I've thought about getting like a reflector. Like a 8-inch Newtonian at some point, maybe a 10-inch. But I'm not quite there yet. Definitely looking for but that's cool. That's a nice step up. That'll be a nice step up. I mean, the red cats are great, but a 10-inch will be a lot. It'll be nice. Definitely be able to image different kinds of things. My neck's getting stiff. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I haven't used. I don't know I haven't used the Navy X. Someone else would have to comment on that. How much backlash it has. Yeah, I have like a Jouet mount, the JUWEI kind of strain wave mount. I have the GTI mount, but I also got the Jouet mount. That's it's like the AM5 basically, and that's the only other mount I have right now, or the only other go-to mount I have. Yeah, no, that's cool. That I mean, I'm kind of curious because I want to be able to image that, but I want to see how it turns out. yeah, or I'm curious how what results you get with your rig. Beginner astrophotographer. Yeah, I mean it's a great hobby, and it never ends. There's always something new to learn, or I mean, like processing, or just different targets, or whatever. There's always something. Oh yeah, that's too bad. Yeah, and it's disappointing because like Starfront, wasn't even cloudy. It was just got too humid. But yeah, I'm sure people with their plane waves appreciate not having them drenched. Although I'm intrigued by that. I had posted a link on the Discord server to this kind of micro observatory, NASA, Harvard kind of thing, and they built these telescopes, remote control telescopes, and they don't need a building, and I'm really intrigued by that. Like, I'm curious what specific, like, there's different ways of making things weatherproof, but I'm curious, like, what the specifics are of what they did to make that weatherproof. Like a telescope that they can, I think it's a 6-inch reflector that they keep outside all the time. I mean, I'm guessing it parks itself, so like that it's not like getting rained on. It probably has like some lens plate, I'm guessing, just to keep it somewhat sealed, but I don't know. I'm curious about the details. I couldn't find any. Or not. I didn't find any. I'm sure maybe maybe they did a paper on it. Oh, nice. Nice. Well, congratulations. Yeah, I mean, Dobsonians, I've never owned one, but I've looked through other people's Dobsonians, and they're really cool for visual use. Although I had thought about getting one at one point with one of the go-to mounts and trying to do photography with it. But yeah, visually they're really cool. They're really nice. And congrats on this. Congrats on the Seestar. Those are you'll like it. No, I'm not full time. It's just a hobby for me. It's in the evening. I do other things during the day. So I'm just, I did visual astronomy when I was like a teenager and in my 20s, and I kind of never really got away from the hobby completely, but it's only in more recent years that I've been getting back into it. Yeah, the S50, it's the result for effort is really nice. Man, my neck is stiff today. I don't know why. Yeah. Well, and like the one thing that I was surprised, I guess, is that the solar filter is pretty good on the Seestar, and not that it's just pretty good, but that I don't know if it's the level of sharpening they have in the kind of the whatever in the firmware, but the fact that you can definitely see like some of the texture of the sun, like in the like more than I would have expected. So I've been pretty happy with that. And yeah, what's up, fellow nerds? Yeah, welcome, Chris. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, I think your work is a hobby. This is your main game. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, like, I used to joke about that, that I work to pay for my hobbies. There's probably some level of truth to that. Um, yeah, the lines get very blurry sometimes. Well, because also like computers were a hobby of mine as well, and so that the lines are really blurry there. So yeah. Actually, yeah, that's like, I know I say this on a regular basis, but that's a story for another day. But about astronomy. So yeah, I don't think I've like fully gotten into the backstory about that with me. I mean, I remember it wasn't Python, but I remember years ago I was like having dinner with some people, and I guess part of my brain was like working through some code, and I like found a bug in some code that I'd been trying to figure out, and I was just like eating dinner. And I'm like, I just figured out a bug, and everybody just looks at me like, you're weird, man. You're weird, man. But you know. But yeah. I don't quite think in Python, but although I do I've been jumping between different languages, and that's been messing me up recently, because like I'll think of Python syntax and then try to do it in a different language. I think it's weird too sometimes. Yeah. But yeah, it was yeah, that might be another conversation for another day about astronomy. And yeah. I like that. Yeah, I had a background check, a task working, running some code checking. Exactly. Just like I remember I was watching David Letterman, and I had been stuck on some math problem for school, and it might have been I think it was college. Yeah, I was in college, and I was watching David Letterman, and the answer popped in my head, and I'm like, oh hey, that's I got that figured out, or now I know now I know how to solve the problem. But yeah, it's one of my college math classes I took. But that was kind of a weird one too. Watching David Letterman. Yeah, it's. But yeah, the background task I like that. It doesn't happen to me as often. Or maybe it does, I don't know. Now what'll end up happening is that does happen. I'll be in some off moment, and at one point it was so bad that I thought about, like I always try to take notes and stuff so I don't forget stuff that randomly pops in my head, like something I was gonna fix or something. Because like if it happens when I like I'm trying to fall asleep and I figure out the answer to something, it's always like, do I get up now and fix it while I still remember, or do I write down and hope I can remember what I meant in the morning? So yeah, again, the lines get blurry as to what's a hobby and what's work sometimes. Nice. The sleep is a PSOD. Exactly. That's cool. Connecting the servo to the friction drive. Yeah, funny enough, I was thinking about that friction drive. because I was like thinking about, you know, do I go for like a 10 or 12 inch 10 or 12 inch reflector? The only problem is those things are, what did I figure the 12 inch was? The 12 inch f4 only 50 pounds. Yeah, so that's why I was like, do I go that far or not? Yeah, 50. Yeah, 51 miles. Yeah, clear skies for all. Yeah, that's the Ring Nebula. Unfortunately, and welcome, Francisco. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, the it clouded up for me, or not clouded up. It got too humid for me, and so the where I have my scope running, where I have my remote scope running, the roof closed. So this is Cosmic Ray's telescope, where he's been imaging some things and sharing them on Discord. So I pulled it in, which I should be better about plugging the Discord server. The Discord server is let me see. Checking something here. Okay, cool. Yeah, my back will go on strike for 50 pounds. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm leery of. Like the 8-inch is doable. It's like 20 pounds or low 20s, but to go to 50 pounds, I don't know. Maybe when I was younger, but Bortle 6, yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, I'm at Bortle 9. Granted, it's not as good. It's Bortle 6. You can get good results with Bortle 6. A lot of it is you just need more time, or if you have like filters, like those can help a lot for certain targets. Or you end up or you just spend time trying to clean up the images, like get rid of the gradients or whatever. But you can get reasonable results. It just, yeah, permanent observatory, yeah, or put it at Starfront. Let them deal with it. That would be cool. Yeah, I just saw a message. We had a significant spike in humidity and hit dew point. Yeah, that was a spike in humidity. Pretty rough spike there. But yeah, with Bortle 6, if you, depending on what you're imaging, if you use filters, and as long as your exposures are the right length, where you're not getting trailing, you should be able to like process them and come up with a reasonable result. Yeah, like a UHC filter, or like if you're doing nebulas, like a dual narrowband filter, those can be really effective for light pollution. But yeah, like basically, yeah, exactly. Across the universe with Cosmic Rays S50. Yeah, Cosmic Ray for the save. I mean, some of those light pollution filters are not, some of them are okay. It just depends. Unfortunately, some of the good filters are expensive. The ones I have are like the SV Bony ones, SVBONY. Like some of those are pretty decent, not too expensive, and they produce pretty good results. But again, it depends on what you're imaging. If you're imaging in like nebulas versus if you're doing galaxies, or clusters, you can probably, I mean, like, I'll image things without filters. I just end up having to like I have a lot of, you'll have gradient, and I'll run software to like remove it. Yeah. No, and some of those things, yeah. It's always interesting. Well, and now a lot of things are expensive. A lot of those things are expensive here now too. Yeah, I was just saying that. Yeah, they're expensive. They weren't expensive 2 months ago, but they like doubled in price. If you can even get some of them. But that's a whole nother story. Nice. But yeah, thanks Cosmic Ray, as always, for sharing that. That's do appreciate that a lot. Curtain is closing. Yeah, I mean, it is getting kind of late for me, and I wasn't able to kind of get exactly what I wanted to image done tonight. So I'll have to try again some other night. But I think it's probably going to be cloudy for at least a couple nights. So if you haven't subscribed, like and subscribe, because I'll be trying this again, the Across the Universe live stream. Either that, or I'll end up just having to like do a video of it, kind of try to piece together the whole thing and then put out a video, which wouldn't be terrible. I haven't put out a video in like months. Yeah, pricing out the stainless steel bar for the counterweights, $100. Yeah, who needs metal? Who needs metal? Only part in stainless. Yeah, makes sense. Don't want that part to corrode. But yeah, who needs metal? We'll just, how about locally sourced stones? We'll do a stone based, talk to your local stonemason, make a telescope mount out of stone, or 3D print it. But how about stone? Counterweights out of stone. Should do counterweights out of stone. Oh gosh, astrophotography setup under 2000. I mean, like that Red Cat. I mean, the Red Cat and the GTI and that camera are under 2000. I mean, that's a good setup. I mean, personally, I would tend to stick to the 585 sensor. I mean, there's other good cameras. The 2600, ASI 2600 Duo, I think those are kind of cool, but those are like $2,000 just for the camera. So like the 585 is a nice camera in all of its varieties. Like I've thought about, like I have a color one. I've thought about getting the QHY mono 585 that has the filter wheel, the Minicam 8. So I thought that would be kind of cool. That would be also a good choice, I think, if you want to do mono, which also could help with light pollution too, because you're using narrowband filters, which kind of work around the light pollution. But then you definitely have to combine them together. So I've thought about that. Like that would be a good one. Any of those kind of refractors, like a Red Cat, Williams Optics. I mean, I have an Apertura 75Q, which probably is branded other ways. It was like $1,000 refractor. Like that's a good one. Like I would probably go for some refractor in that range. And then like the GTI mount, I've had pretty good luck with that. So yeah, that's probably what I would, kind of the setup I would consider. All right, thanks. Thanks, Cosmic Ray. Thanks for sharing your scope. I appreciate it. And have a good evening. Oh, you have the ZWO 2600. Yeah, the Uncool 585. 3 scopes, cool. Yeah, the 2600. Yeah, I mean the 2600 is a good one. Yeah, I mean it sounds like you've got a decent setup there. I think just having I think the filters would be the main thing. Just to I think the filters would be the thing to help get good results. Oh, before, I mean, do you want are you looking for a different mount? Or a different camera? I mean, because like the 585 and the 2600 are both, I don't have a 2600, but what I've heard, that's a great camera. And I mean, the GTI is a good, you know, it's a good, it's a decent mount. I mean, it's a good mount. I'm happy with mine. I mean, if you want to, I mean, the strain wave mounts are nice. Like the AM3, AM5, those are nice mounts. I mean, I have, yeah, I mean, it depends on how heavy the scope is. But like the AM3 and AM5s are nice, the ZWO ones, and like I say, I have the Juway one, and I've been pretty happy with that. I mean, I've heard good things about the EQ6R as well. I don't know that that's quite the discount setup, Cosmic Ray. Although that is a nice scope. That would be a nice scope. Maybe one day. But my biggest problem, well, I have multiple problems, one of which is the light pollution where I am, but the other is just like I'm gonna run out of room if I get something like that. Or tune into SLS. Yeah, that's true. Save money. Yeah, an iOptron has a good mount as well. That's true. Yeah, so I guess it depends, like which objects. I mean, if you're doing yeah, unfortunately, I'm what you see on this on the screen is a photo of that I previously taken. Unfortunately, I'm clouded out, or I'm unable to observe at the moment. So, oh yeah. It's the headphone nebula. It's not the dumbbell. It's what is it? It's kind of an odd one. It's a sharpless object. It is. Oh, that is a really weird one. I'll drop a link to it because it's got an unusual catalog number. Yeah, it's a very unusual catalog. But yeah, as far as like DSO or planets, I mean, planets you'll want a higher focal length. I mean, it depends on what you're going to do, like how much planetary work you're going to do. If it's just occasional, I mean, honestly, I feel like, I guess that's why people get a lot of those like Celestron 8 type telescopes, the 8-inch Schmidt-Cassegrain, because they're just kind of flexible. You can get the high focal length, but you can also go wider. That said, I don't know. Like lower focal length, like 400 to 700. I mean, it depends on your camera, but I feel like 400 to 700 is good for a lot of deep space objects. Or maybe, I mean, like you've got the wide angle with the red cat covered. So if you got something in that, like less than 1,000 millimeter, that's kind of a, you get in a bit closer on a lot of objects. Like if you do the 585 sensor, you're getting in closer. If you do the 2600, you have a bit more room. I guess that's the reason I mentioned that is that's, well, I have a 400 millimeter and I'm looking at something probably that's going to be like in the 800 millimeter, like a Newtonian, maybe. Astro Indian X. I haven't seen that one. Yeah. I mean, you know what I do, honestly. So you go, like I have in Stellarium, like I'll go in and I've defined, like it comes with different telescopes defined, and you can specify like the focal lengths and the aperture and whatever, and you can define sensors. And so I've done that for a few things I've thought about doing, and then like I want to go look at, say, headphone nebula, and like I have so this is with the Seestar, with the Seestar with C, but like with the 585 sensor, and then I have like a 400 millimeter. Okay, so it's actually smaller in there, but it's also higher megapixels, so I can crop in. But then if you get like something with, I mean, this is what you get with 1800 millimeters, but those are, I don't necessarily recommend that. It's so finicky. But like with like a C8. But yeah, so like I just kind of have played around with that. So like it's right off the screen. Okay. So like, so this would be Is that right? Yeah, so this would be like 800 millimeter focal length. So yeah, that's pretty good. You know, it's in a little bit tighter with the 585 sensor. Now with like a 2600, you get a wider field of view. So I would like, that's what I've done. I've kind of spent some time in Stellarium kind of messing around with it, just trying to get on I mean, partly also so I didn't get something that wouldn't image the kind of things I wanted to image. Have to find links and then you can see it. Yeah. Are you talking about the headphone nebula? Yeah, because it's got like that bizarro catalog number. I'm not sure. I have no experience with the with those. They seem good. They seem good, but I don't have any experience with them. Yeah, with an S30, it'll be small. They'll be tiny. I mean, that said, like this particular one, well, okay, let me show you. I actually have an S30 in here, so I can go. So here is, okay, so for this particular planetary nebula, now this one's a lot bigger than like the Ring Nebula. So keep that in mind. This is bigger than the Ring Nebula. So this is the S50, and then this is the S30. So it is smaller. And then if you look at like the Ring Nebula, like it's tiny. So, I mean, this would be the field of view in the S30. But now, like, depending on your latitude, if you can see the Helix Nebula, like that one's a pretty big one. Pretty big, pretty bright. So, but it's also more, it's a bit more south. So if, depending on where you live, may or may not be something you can image. But planetary nebulas generally tend to be pretty small. So just like the Seestar doesn't do as well with planets, similar thing, or similar issues. But like the Emission Nebula, it's great. Like the Eagle Nebula, like you can fit the whole Eagle Nebula in the S30 field of view. So yeah, no, unfortunately I can't. I don't have my I'm clouded, or not clouded. My telescope, I can't image anything right now. And before I had what was on screen was Cosmic Ray. He was imaging. So like that's the S30 sombrero. Actually, I think I might have that. I think I imaged that recently. What was that? Okay, this was taken with an S50. So that wasn't too bad. The sombrero with an S50, but the S30 was definitely smaller. Yeah, that's true. I've also looked at those. Those are cool. Yeah, okay, the field of view. What is the red cat? Let's see. Oh, yeah, it's the same, Yeah, it's 250 millimeter. So it would be same as the, well, okay, so so if I go look at here with the sombrero, it's actually the same focal length as a Seestar, but if you're using a 585 chip, this is the field of view you'd have with the Red Cat and the 585. So, like, you could crop in on it. I mean, because the 585 is 8 megapixels, so you could definitely crop in on it. Yeah, it's 250, yeah. Yeah, thanks. And like the yeah, the 533 will be similar. I do have that one in here too. Like, I just put a ton of different sensors in here. Some of these were included somewhere. So this is a 533 with the Red Cat. So, but you know, like the Red Cat, that's a wider field thing. So if you do like the Triangulum galaxy, like that fills things a bit better. And or if you do like M81, M82, like you can get M81, M82, the Garland galaxy, and a few other little galaxies. So it's good for like wider field stuff. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so with like, so this would be 250 millimeter, but if you have, so this would be the 533 with like a 400 millimeter focal length. Well, let's go back to the sombrero. I'll go back to the sombrero. So M104 with a 250, like that's how big it, a 250 millimeter focal length with a 533. But then with a 400 millimeter, that's what you get. And then with like an 800 millimeter, actually this would be about 700. No, that's more than, this is 700 millimeter. So a 533 with 700 millimeters. See, that's not too bad. So that's, I guess that's why I was thinking like 7 or 800 millimeter might be good. Because it gets you in a little bit closer. Let's see, which one is that one? Yeah, that's around that level. Yeah, it's a that one's a 150 millimeter, so 6-inch aperture, 750 millimeter focal length. I think, yeah. So this, so with that, yeah, it would be about this with the 533 sensor for the specifically for the sombrero. But if you go with like the Ring Nebula, I mean, it's still going to be pretty small. I mean, you'll recognize it as the Ring, but it's still small. The problem is, like, to get as close in on some of those targets, it's like a different scope. You need like a higher focal length. Now, a big galaxy like M33 with 700 millimeters, like it fills the frame, which is pretty cool. Like that's nice if you want that. Get a nice big image of like M33. But like the planetary nebula are going to be a challenge. Now, when you go to something like an 1800 millimeter, like you get with a Schmidt-Cassegrain, then you start getting like the nebula's a bit bigger. But those, it's a trade-off. Like those can be a bit, like I have issues with my higher focal length telescope. Yeah, okay. Let's see. See if I can pop that out. Oh, wow. That's impressive. Wow. That's really impressive. 10-inch? Was a 10-inch Newtonian? If so, I might have to get a 10-inch Newtonian. Yeah, I mean, it would be worth a shot. It might be worth a shot. Trying that. I mean, I would just make sure that it has, like, some of the telescopes. Like, I would just watch the reviews on some of them, because the problem with some of the Newtonians, like sometimes the focuser might end up being like the inexpensive Newtonians. They might be okay optically, but they might be hard to kind of, what do you call it, collimate to align the mirrors. And they can also be like I've heard people complain about the focusers on some of them. I'm not saying this specific one, but just in general, I've heard people talk about having issues with the focusers with Newtonians. So I would check the reviews on that just to make sure. I mean, that's what I would do. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna, I like this 10-inch thing. I think that's pretty. And then like some of the other, like, that's impressive. Wow. Of course, the problem I have is I don't know. I'm just so conflicted because I feel like a larger aperture Newtonian for me will be helpful to deal with some of the light pollution, but then I feel like I'm still limiting myself. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I think a strain, I guess what I would start with is what kind of objects do you want to image, and then kind of work backwards as to what kind of scope would give you acceptable results. So like if you occasionally want to do planetary nebula, but you're mostly interested in like emission nebula, well then you probably don't need anything like with too high of a focal length. So that's where maybe that 400 to 700 millimeter refractor or reflector might be good. But then if you're really wanting to just image some of the smaller things, then you might want to consider something like a Schmidt-Cassegrain, like an 8-inch Schmidt-Cassegrain. Yeah, because I mean, like the Celestron ones are flexible because they run at f10, so you can get close in on planets and planetary nebula, but then you can use a reducer to shoot at lower speeds. I mean, at higher speeds and wider fields. So you've got some flexibility there, I guess. And then, like, I mean, this is kind of what I went through. Is like, what do I want to image? And then I figured out the scope, and then I figured out the mount, because well, I didn't quite. I ended up getting a scope, and the mount I had, the GTI couldn't handle it, so I ended up getting a strain wave, which, now that I'm looking at maybe a bigger Newtonian, my strain wave won't support it. So I guess, like I say, you kind of figure out the scope and then figure out the mount that can handle it. Yeah, DSO and planets. But again, it depends on which deep space objects, like galaxies. I mean, if it's going to be a whole wide variety of things, maybe something like in that 800 millimeter, because it won't be ideal for planets, but it'll get you at least close enough. I mean, a bit closer, but yet not such a high focal length that it becomes kind of a hassle, with like where alignment is more of a problem and stuff like that. Like the issues, I've had issues with my 1800 millimeter focal length. So yeah, maybe an 800 mil, like basically the thing you were talking about, the 150 the 150 millimeter reflector, that those could be good. Yeah, I mean, like the issue I have, or like, and it's a lot more sensitive to misalignment with your polar alignment. So it just ends up being a huge hassle. Like for me, I ended up having to get a guide scope, a separate scope, and I plate solve through the guide scope because I can't plate solve through the main telescope. It just doesn't work. It's like the focal length. I mean, it's just, everything's too faint. Like if I can start tracking, I can do some nice imaging, but again, I'm Bortle 9, so I've got big problems. But yeah, I would consider, I guess I'm not giving a concrete answer. I'm more like suggesting kind of certain kinds of scopes in certain kinds of focal lengths. Because I feel like, I mean, you've got the Red Cat, so you've got the wide angle covered. And I guess that's another thing I look at is like, what do I have? What is it good at? And what do I want to image that those don't already cover? So like I have the Seestars, which are similar to the Red Cat. They're wide angle. Now they have a smaller sensor, so it's not as wide of a field, but it's still reasonably wide. So I felt like I had that kind of covered, and I have it even more covered with the S30 now. But I wanted to be able to image planets, and so I ended up with an 1800, and it's great for planets, but for planetary nebula I've been having issues with, because getting it to point at faint small things has been a challenge. So I guess that's why I'm leery of suggesting something like that. So I think that's why I guess I was thinking under 1,000 millimeter focal length. I mean, realistically, I mean, you can, I guess it depends on what you mean. You wouldn't take a single exposure that long. You would do lots of short exposures and then combine them. But really, if you're, the longer you want to image something, well, if you want to make the individual sub exposures longer, that's when you start getting into with guiding, yes. And even then, I wouldn't like I even if I had really dark skies, I probably wouldn't go more than a few minutes on each subframe. Like I might take hours of data, but I'd only do a few minutes on each, just because like satellites going through them or a cloud goes over one of them. You don't want to have to throw away a bunch of data. So I would try to limit it. But yeah, I mean, with auto guiding, you could. I don't know that I've gone that long. I've done over an hour, I'm pretty sure, with my GTI with auto guiding, because I have a off-axis guider on my on it, and I just have like a inexpensive little ASI 120mm camera. I would consider getting like maybe a 220mm or something, whatever the newer one or better ones are. But yeah, it works. It's worked fine. I use PhD2 and auto guide, and it's been fine. Yeah, I'm trying to see. Do I have? Trying to see if I can find more here. Okay, no, that wasn't. Yeah, I mean, this wasn't necessarily the best result, but I think this was like, I forget. This was taken with a 400 millimeter refractor, the 585 sensor, and it was probably like an hour, but I was using guiding on it. And this was with my Bortle 9 Sky, so yeah, I mean, it's definitely doable with auto guiding. And plus my alignment wasn't great that evening, so I probably could have done better. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I think it's yeah, no, I think it's a good combination. I think it's a great combination. I mean, it's a bit wider than what I have, because I have a GTI and I have a 400 millimeter refractor. But that said, there are times where I would have like that Rosette Nebula that I showed. The problem was it was like I didn't get the whole Rosette. Whereas if I had like a Red Cat 50, like something like similar to a Red Cat 51, I would have been able to get the whole thing in the frame. Should try some imaging with it sometime. Yeah, so the one I have is and like I say, it's like it's one of those ones that probably goes by different brands, but this is the one I've got. But there's other ones out there, and this specific one is like a Petzval, so it's like a quintuplet refractor, and I've been very happy with this specific one. But like I say, there's probably different brand but the same telescope available. Yeah, Askar has some great ones. I would consider some of those. Yeah. I mean, again, I think they're both good. I think you wouldn't go wrong with either one, or like some of the Askar ones are good too, are great. I think there's a lot of very high quality, refractors out there these days. And I think the key is filters and guiding. I think both of those are really helpful. Yeah. Hello, Seiko. Welcome. Thanks for joining. I'm unfortunately I was the roof closed early because of a humidity spike, so Cosmic Ray was sharing his scope for a bit, but I'm probably going to wrap it up soon. Actually, it's getting late here, and I have to get up in the morning to work to pay for the new telescope. No, I don't have a new telescope, but to pay for the gear. But yeah, unfortunately you always, you often show up just as I'm about to wrap it up for the evening. Although I don't think I have as early of a call tomorrow as I had. There were some days where I had some really early calls. I don't even remember what day of the week it is. What is it? Is it Thursday? Is it? Oh, it's May Day. Hey, May 1st. It's Thursday. What do you know? I don't know. The days all kind of blur together sometimes. But yeah, it's Thursday. It's Thursday here too. Barely. But yeah, I definitely am planning on doing this across this live stream again. Trying to get all those targets, but it might not be for a few days till it's clear again. Yeah, definitely Thursday. Yeah, I mean it is actually Thursday here too, so it's not like it often is where you guys are a day ahead. Oh man, my neck. Anyhow, yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up before my neck stiffens up anymore. But like I say, I will be trying to do this again in a few days. Next time it's clear, because the good thing is even with the moon I'll be able to do it, so I'm pretty sure I'll be able to do it, at least from Starfront. I can do it. I can't do it from here with the light pollution here, but yeah, and it gives me time to talk to open a ticket at Starfront and have them make sure that everything is, no cords are wrapped up. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining. And if you haven't joined the Discord server, you know, it's a good place to talk about astronomy and ask questions about equipment and stuff like that. And yeah, and I think I'll leave it at that for tonight. So thanks everybody for joining. Thanks Cosmic Array for sharing. Thanks Jeff for sharing. You're observing your telescopes on, and I'm starting to ramble, so I am gonna leave it at that. So thanks everybody for joining, and see you in the next time. See you in the next one. Thanks. Thanks. Bye.